Good afternoon. It's about 5 p.m. and it's been kind of a weird day stuck inside. I swear this is the last video I'll upload for today. But I just wanted to show this. It's the Russian Gypsy fortune telling cards. I've had them for a little while. I forget. But it's kind of, at first, it's kind of complicated. I guess it's still kind of complicated. Or confusing, not really complicated, as I'll try to show a little bit. I can't fit it all in, so I have to kind of swing the camera for lack of wanting to take it off and put it on a tripod. Uh-oh. Looks like somebody wants it to be Halloween before it's time. But anyway, that's kind of how you lay these out. There's 5 rows of 5 cards, and we'll take a look here in a second. But like always, let's start with the box. And what was weird today is I start off with the Lunar Nomad Oracle, which is kind of a Lenormand with 5 extra cards. So that led me to the little like $7 Russian Lenormand, and the Russian in that led me to this. But they're all, in a manner of speaking, Lenormand. Just this one's, in a way, kind of far removed from being a Lenormand deck. Like if that's a system. I don't know. All these words are mooshing together. But this is old. The copyright in the book, I believe, and I put it on the edge of the book like I like to do. 1991. I don't know if it's been updated or what. But it did not come to me from Russia. Once again, it came to me from Etna, Ohio. And it's one of those annoying boxes. And you can probably see it's been set on heavily. Now that may have been partially my fault for storing it badly, but I tend not to stack them so that one is affecting the one below it. But anyway, so that's 25 cards is what you get. Apparently those 25 cards, because they're quartered, like you can see a highway down the middle making an X across a typical card. Let's pick that one up since it's not in my little reading example here. And you can see another helpful thing if you get tired of staring. Where's that boy? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? And you just can't find him. There's a number there. Like he is number 13, I believe. So you can just go looking for that. But not just anywhere. It would have to be around here, which I guess kind of limits the edge to 3. I don't know. I try not to think about math. But there's going to be an effect because there's nothing else over here to turn it to. And that's what you're allowed to do. You're allowed to turn these and try to see matches. Although oddly, and I think I shuffled this a few times, you see the little dice from the tarot dice set I have. I actually have 4 of them to increase their, I don't know, to make the odds work better, I guess you could say. Because otherwise, if you have 1, you really should buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should really buy 6 sets, but I think 4 is enough for me. They're not very expensive, and they are well made. That's the thing. Anyway, I'm off on another subject. But I put one of these in every place where I found a match. And I haven't really looked close to see if I could turn and get other matches. Sometimes I think I see and then I don't. Like I thought I saw the one at the bottom here, but it's not, because there's no way a dog Dalmatian matches up with a rooster. At least not on this planet. And then there's one I thought was a match. That's why it's orange. Cheap old Walmart acrylic paint. It looks like it might be a match if you were just looking quickly, but it's not because the numbers tell you it's not. So I get the paint out of the way. What I did first, before we look at the cards, maybe bring this back so I can put the book on something. There we go. And there's some history of, Gypsy, and a little bit about whoever the author's family is. I forget the person's name. Svetlana Alexandrova Touchkoff. I don't know how to really say it. I've heard Svetlana a lot because there's a lot of tennis players from Russia. And I know that there's an A at the end of certain words when it's the, what do you call it, the effeminate? I don't know. That's not even a word. When you're female, typically there's an A at the end. In this case, it's an NA. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But Svetlana Touchkoff, let's just say that instead of Touchkoffa. But what does it say? An innovative system for discovering your path in life. Wow. Based on the authentic Gypsy teachings of 19th century Russia. That's interesting. I just found it interesting. Can't remember how much it was. I think it's $26 on Amazon. But what I did right off is, you look at the contents, and they have a little blurb and a picture of the card joined together so you know what it looks like. And it does have some of the person's history, family history, all that jazz. But as you look quickly, you're like, that's Lenormand with a bunch of extra cards, which it turns out to be. The only cards that could not match from Lenormand, and I used the fairy tale Lenormand just because the cards are clear and numbered. But I could not find a match for the clouds. I thought I found a match for the whip, like a knot, but I don't think that's enough of a match. I could not find gentleman, or the man. I could not find key, and I could not find a cross. So, couldn't find matches for those. Oh, and the cards come in this little box that's stuck in that opening in the bigger box. And the card stock is just terrible. It's the worst. Well, okay, it's not the worst. We saw the worst earlier in the Russian Lenormand. It's like toilet paper. This would not work as toilet paper, but it is thin and would bend easily. But I'm sure you could laminate it. I don't know what people do. Or you could just take a bunch of pictures and send it somewhere and print your own off, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you can legally do that. I don't see why not. You're not selling. I don't know. But anyway, I highlighted the ones that matched. And then you can see the extra ones in this deck. Basically, firewood, apple. I'm assuming that Cavalier would be the rider. What else is extra? Heron. I made the stork. Why do I have trouble with that word? Because I hear Huron in my head. Got to stop watching Last of the Mohicans. Forest, I turned into garden, which probably isn't right. So there's horseshoe, money, owl. Sometimes there's an owl in Lenormand, isn't there? Or am I whacked in the head? Handshake, angel, horse, knot, cat, scales. Scales as in weighing things, justice. Crayfish, what an odd choice. Crayfish. I like crayfish. They call them crawdads in Louisiana. Fire, pig, bridge, demons, rooster, dagger, bread. Can't get more basic than bread, can you? And then the back has one of the things that I find annoying, but that's just me. They do readings because they may have journaled them at some point. I know I did. And then they go back and use what occurs in the journal if they ever find out from the person that this or that occurred in their life or was occurring in their life as justification for the cards in their system. I just don't. You believe. I don't need proof. But that's just me. What else did I want to say from the book? Oh, at the very back, I kind of, to make this easier to do the cards, I kind of went ahead and wrote down what matches occurred, just looking quickly, and how this position thing, as you'll see on each card, influences the reading. Like I say, it's kind of confusing. If you like slightly complicated, confusing things where you don't just stare at the picture, then this is for you. And these cards remind me of the, I'm looking for it on the shelf, in terms of how they're done, a little bit like the Starlight Dragon Tarot, I think it was called. I probably got the name wrong. I was disappointed in those dragon images, but I think it was something like this, where you turn. Nah, it was different. Those were always on a diagonal. These aren't, I don't know. I can't remember. But here are the matches. Wherever you see a die, where the dice are placed, those are the matches that I got. In other words, the picture was completed. And I haven't looked super closely to see if because you're allowed to pick up and turn, like you could do this. You could say, oh, I think that matches. Oh, bummer, it doesn't. And no, it doesn't. But you're allowed to do that as part of the reading. So since this doesn't fit in the camera, no matter what I do, I'm going to have to do this to show you the bottom row, which has 3 matches on it. And our old friend from Halloween thinks it's Halloween again. It's not. Get out of here. Trying to upstage people. So let's go back the other way. Whoa. Okay. And then I will read from this. Let you look at what I did. Basically, I'm off. I need to swoosh this over, but I just put it in the book since it's kind of the first one. There are 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a little legend I copied from somewhere else in the book, where it tells you that the position down is the strongest meaning. Position to the right is a weaker meaning, I guess, and to the left the meaning is slightly negative. And if it's pointing up, then the meaning is negative. Kind of like a reversal. I guess you could look at it that way. But up here at the top, and I'll take the die away as we do it, we have number 49, the dagger. It's pointing down, so that's the strongest meaning. And let's just read that one. We'll just do that one since there's close to the back here. And as you can see, they don't cheap out on the pages. So this was done pretty good. It's a slick, glossy kind of paper. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say 3 whole pages. And what did we have? We are going down, which means it's the strongest meaning. So here it says 49 dagger, and there's the full picture of it. And right below that, sorry, it's going to be hard to read. Period of influence, immediate. Now that's kind of a unique thing. I guess I didn't catch that. Now it's kind of hitting me that it talked about that in the front. It says this symbol for hidden assault. I guess that's kind of dagger-ish, right? Meaning, in our case, up here, it's pointing down. So we get the 1, which is the strongest meaning. You will be protected in time. Well, that's good to know. General meaning of the picture. Well, let me read that back here. A dagger is a short, sharp, I don't think I can zoom in on it, but it's this one up here. I don't have anything to point with. I could use the skeleton hand. There. that one right there. See it? At the end of the ruler. A dagger is a short, sharp weapon worn by knights and courtiers of old. I never liked that expression, of old. I get it, but something about it. Some hid it, while others wore it on their belts. I guess some would have hid it up their sleeve. The dagger symbolizes pain that can be inflicted on you by someone at any moment. That's true. The danger may be of a physical nature, or it may be a wound to your pride, self-esteem, vanity, or heart. Ouch, 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 and ouch. In the first two positions, the picture is actually a positive one. Really? Telling you that you will be protected in time. Okay, that's what I got. So now we get to read that, because we got position 1, because the arrow is pointing down. So that's how this works. You get a general, and then you pick the position that you have up there, which is pointing down. So I will read that. Position 1, you will be protected in time. Someone is trying to hurt you. Damn them. But because you will be protected in time, thank you for repeating that, you might not even know of the threat. I don't. Police, firefighters, administrators, and government inspectors are always working, providing protection to society against many hidden dangers that we are unaware of. Okay? It could be criminals, or contaminated food, or dangerous facilities. Our taxes pay for protection. My goodness, this sounds like a government blurb. And you are benefiting from this. That's true. I can't argue with that. When you get this picture, make sure you listen to radio and television. Okay, I could listen to radio, but my television doesn't have cable, so I can listen to his YouTube news and Amazon Prime. And read the newspaper. Don't do that either, so that you are aware of warnings given to the public. I think there's a horn around here. I still live in one of those horn areas. Pay attention to these warnings, as they are meant to protect you. I think the last warning was a flood from the river over there. The picture may also refer to people wishing to hurt your reputation. Don't need a reputation. I'm retired. Someone may be saying things behind your back, but another is standing up for you. Well, I like them. Defending your honor and actions. Go. You may be totally unaware of the conversations. I hope so. If the picture appears for you, make sure that all your actions are circumspect and little harm will come your way. Cool. Kinda. Maybe I shouldn't have read dagger. Well, let's go back here and see what the others are. As I go, I'll pull off the die. I got a horse. And the horse is very negative. You negative horse, you. So that was row 1. Now somebody might see where I could rotate this and make another match, but I'm not going to worry with that. Let's go to row number 2. Our first match is the knot, which I tried to make the whip, but I don't think that works, as in the whip in the Lenormand deck. And it's pointing down, so that's the good way, or the strongest meaning. And, oops, it's not horse, it's hearse. Ugh. And it's pointing down. I guess that's a good meaning. Let's go find hearse real quick. Suddenly I'm concerned. Oh my gosh, there's pages on this one. Sickness. Well, I have been congested. I think that's because of weather change. Oh my goodness, some kind of sickness. Sickness may lead... Oh no. I'm not going to read that. Oh, that's not good. So, moving on to row 3. Boy, this doesn't pull any punches, does it? Well, I didn't read it to you, but you get the general idea. Here is money, number 29, pointing down, so that's a good one. Here are mountains. I live in the mountains. It's pointing up, which is the opposite. Here on, that was 1, 2, 3. You might see matches I don't see. On row 4, which I think we're still showing. Yep, we're still showing. Let's go ahead and turn. You can see on an angle anyway. This is row 4, and we got here the Cavalier, which I kind of turned into the Rider. I'm not sure that's completely accurate. So that's pointing up, which would be the opposite of whatever it is. Here's a pig, which I'm going to take as barbecue since it's pointing down. I'm not sure that idea of up and down isn't entirely backwards, intuitively speaking. Up is good, down is, yeah, I don't know. So here on this 4th row, we also have number 35, the anchor, matched, and it's pointing down, which is the good thing, or the strongest meaning, I'm sorry. So here on row 5, I think I see it, yep. We've got the lily, number 30, and then we got number 24, the heart. That's a fancy heart, isn't it? And then our last match here is scales, which is, you know, like justice. Or just weighing stuff. The old days. So that was just hopefully quick, probably not quick enough, look at the Russian Gypsy fortune-telling cards. I find them interesting. This is a very good book. The front part, I'm not sure about the stuff in between, or if I would agree with some of that, or if I agree with the arrows, or if I would use it that way, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of this up front, because I guess it's 1991, they're like by the numbers kind of way of doing it, very military. Use your right hand, breathe in, do this, do that. I'm not so into all that. I like the background that they had, but I don't like, you know, the strict how to do this, how to do that sort of thing. Just don't ever get that. Won't ever get that. So we'll just move this back so you can just see straight anyway. And there's the book. And it was from Amazon, not Russia. It was from Ohio. So with that, and I guess I'll play with this some more because it's different. I'll give it that. And kind of interesting. So with that, I will say peace, and I promise not to make another video today because there's nowhere this can lead me. Nothing can follow on to this. Maybe the Starlight Dragon Tarot, but I've already shown that. So with that, I will say peace.